And we are live. Welcome back to the James McGee Show. I'm your host. I am James McGee. We have Jason from One More and I'm Out of Here. And we have our favorite purple haired millennial conservative,
Oh, hi, friends.
our unicorn. So, yeah, we haven't talked about that. Not the hair, Candace. That's a joke. But, you being a millennial, um, that's, more and more millennials are becoming conservatives. And I think that our main topic tonight is going to be, Charlie Kirk again. I think Charlie Kirk had a lot to do with this. So why don't you start off tonight telling us, a little bit about, were you always a conservative? Did people like Charlie Kirk kind of, show you the way, or tell us a little bit about your history on that?
I love that. So actually I was not very politically savvy in my, I would say, early 20s. I started to get more and more so when Obama policies were being implemented and they were drastically affecting my family and their business.
Okay.
Under Obama, my parents essentially lost their home, their business was shuttered. It was kind of a disaster. And so really seeing how those policies affected my family started to get me to think a little differently, but it honestly wasn't until I met my husband when he started
And he was
getting
supposed
me
to
to
come on
think different.
tonight. He,
Yes.
yeah,
He's a big
he's
man
gonna
baby,
be
I'm
with us
told.
one night. Yeah,
He will definitely be here one night, but he
yeah.
definitely helped me think differently. And in one aspect, it's funny, it's kind of personal, but kind of not. I think it's important to share, especially since Charlie Kirk really stressed this. I will never forget this conversation that him and I had. It was maybe our like fifth date. And I had mentioned, or he had asked me if I was on birth control, and I was like, yeah, I'm on birth control. And he asked me why. And I started to do that, like, oh well, it's just, it makes that time of the month better, and like hormones and all this stuff. And I was lying, you know what I mean? And he was like,
Yeah.
you're doing it so you don't have to worry about things. And it was when he kind of like called me out, when I started to think a little bit differently about, okay, why is that stuff normal?
Yeah.
What are we trying to normalize, and what is the actual problem with it? And ever since him and I got married, we really focused on raising our family in more of a traditional conservative lifestyle. We are very religious. He is Greek Orthodox. I converted right before we got married because it was just going to be easier to raise our family that way. I
Okay,
was
okay,
baptized Catholic.
yeah, that was going to be my question.
Yeah, I was baptized Catholic. My family was not really practicing a whole lot, but they were always very like, we believe in Jesus, we believe in this. So he really helped me navigate faith, and everything else kind of fell into place. Yes, traditionalism. When we had our first child, we had no money. I didn't have a maternity leave. I didn't get any of that. So really knowing that we had to provide that stuff for ourselves
Mhm.
makes me now, when I see people say like, we should have maternity leave, we should have this, we should have that, it's like, no, the government shouldn't help you have children or take care of your life. And I've really been in a place where I had to do it myself, we had to do it together.
Mhm.
And being government dependent, I see, is just such a miserable life, and we've really strived to make sure that that isn't our life. And so now it's really taken a heightened thing. I mean, Trump really turned everything around. I think for us young conservatives, he really started it for us, getting very more vocal, more so because it was scary to be vocal. Now it's not. I've been listening to Charlie Kirk definitely since he started campaigning more so with Trump. He was kind of a staple in my day. I would always see a Charlie Kirk video. There were times where I would talk a lot about it, just in my daily life. And so this was kind of a huge shock to me and a huge blow to how I started just getting to a point of being more traditional and more conservative. Charlie Kirk got me to think about things differently, even something like IVF. I never considered that a talking point or something that I should think differently about until him. And so it's just a major loss for me. And I know there are a lot of young conservatives that feel the same exact way.
So, Jason, did you? I know y'all had a show this evening. Have you watched any of the memorial?
So my my shitty Cincinnati Bengals shit the bed today. So
Again.
no, we were 2-0. Now
Oh
we're
shit! Okay, I didn't realize that.
Now we're 2-1, but
Okay.
our quarterback went down. But regardless, so sitting at the bar watching the game, but I made sure that I tuned in on my phone and was watching, all of Charlie's buddies, his turning point, counterparts, whatever, sitting there, and I listened to some of them, then you put the volume down, bring it back up. I did not get to see. I got to watch his wife. Holy shit! I've already cried. I've already cried 4 times today, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Like
No.
when he died, I cried.
This is a valid crying incident.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people are crying. I'm like, man, just man the fuck up. This is valid. This is valid. This is that serious. Before we go further, I want to do 2 toasts tonight. So this is wedding week
Mm-hmm.
for Jason and Jill. Those who follow Jason and those Jason's show and follow this, y'all know that it's wedding week, and I will be there in person. So let's do a toast. 2 great people, great couple. Let's have a great week and look forward to being there personally.
Cheers.
I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate that more than you know.
And we have Boudin. We will have Boudin at the wedding.
We'll
I
make
don't know what the fuck that
and
is.
we just educated Candace on what Boudin is. I got to send her some. We just educated Candace on Boudin. So, I am a big follower of the Samurai Code. I've done a lot of reading on the Samurai Code. And one thing a quote that I've always liked and lived by was, I may take shots to the forehead, but I will never take them in the back. And Charlie Kirk took, no, it's arrows. Never, I will take arrows in the forehead, but we'll never take arrows in the back. Charlie Kirk sat there several times a week and took arrows to the forehead. Mm-hmm. Constantly. And what ended his life was a gunshot to the neck. They hit him in the neck. They didn't hit him in the back because he wasn't fucking running. He didn't run from confrontation. He didn't run from debate. He didn't run from his beliefs. He stood there and he took those arrows in his forehead every single fucking day. And I shouldn't have said the F word in
you're allowed
memorializing him because he didn't believe in that. And, my girl, Megan, did his show this week and she kind of has, she likes to say the F word. And so in Charlie's studio, it says no swearing on this show. He was the real deal, man. He was the real guy. He believed in that. And I'm just and that our theme of tonight is going to be talking about the people that lost their jobs. But before that, let's give a toast to Charlie Kirk, his family, his wife, especially, of carrying the torch and doing the things that they're going to do. So here's to y'all.
Absolutely.
To Charlie.
I'm still going to cuss in this show, though.
Oh, we're cussing now. I'm talking about I was just talking about during the fucking toast. I'm not talking about.
We got a lot of shit to say.
If I can't swear, I can't talk. So that's just what it is. And since I've retired, I'm
That's why you and I are cut from the same cloth.
That's what I saw Candace on TikTok. I'm like, yeah, should fit here.
Yeah, fuck is like the best word ever.
But at least
and they say we're
like,
more intelligent because we use it. So there's that.
Well, it's just like we talked last week. At least when we say it, it's real.
Right.
We're not, these liberals that are trying to cuss now. It's like it don't even flow. Quit trying to be cool. We say it authentically. It's just it's second nature to us. So, Jason, let's start with you. So, over 2,000 people, from what the reports are saying, have lost their jobs because of things they have said disparagingly about Charlie Kirk and his death. What's your opinion on that? What do you think about our employers should be doing that, shouldn't be doing that, letting their employees have free speech? What's your take?
I mean, I think it depends on where you're working,
Mhm.
what rules. You and I are both in public safety, so or you're retired, but public safety, we have SOPs, SOGs, whatever you want to call them, and if it comes out to where you're not allowed to say certain things, yeah, I mean, you might have to curb your shit. But private sector, it all depends on the fucking boss, right? I mean that's we all have a boss. We all have a boss we have to talk to and deal with. But when we're dealing with a lot of it here locally in Cincinnati and locally here right
Mhm.
where I live, where people are throwing things on social media
Mhm.
and they're some hateful things. All of a sudden it gets back to their work. It comes into honestly like how much pressure that business is going to get. So if you're noticed, don't be the one that gets noticed.
Mhm.
It's a lot easier to just keep your fucking mouth shut,
Mhm.
honestly. But if they have rules, I mean, yeah, then you're fucking gone. So I'm a fireman. It's very in my podcast. It's very apparent I'm a fireman. I never say where I work. I never bring in any of the runs or any of the details that I make into my podcast. This is my separate thing. I'm hoping that nothing comes about. But if it does, it does. But I'm cognizant about it. I don't go out on social media and be like, well, Charlie Kirk decided he needed to die because he was, this and that and X, Y, and Z. And well, I'm a trans and I'm going to fuck that guy. It's just so stupid. Like it's dumb. I'm very cognizant about what I barely post on my own personal Facebook account. I do more shit on the one more and I'm out of here account than I do anything else. But it's all like very generic, like just so when you go out and you hit social media though, your company has a policy. And when you got hired, you signed something that said I accept this policy. So when you decide to go and be dumb and throw a bunch of bullshit out there, then you have to eat that.
So, Candace, what's your take?
Oh, I've
You know,
been busting.
yeah, I know you're black and tell. So you're in the private sector, but you
Yep.
know, so what is your take on employers' rights to do this? Should they
Oh,
be doing this, or
we got
should they?
Pappas in the house. I like it.
So
Pappas, let me call Pappas out real quick. Pappas, I follow you on Facebook.
You
You
want me to,
don't hate
you want
you
me to
do
call him in?
you don't hate Facebook, Pappas. I'd love for Pappas to get on. You don't hate Facebook, Pappas. You're on Facebook. I don't know when you sleep. I don't know when you do anything else because you're on Facebook more than me.
I hate
So go ahead.
Facebook
Why you
too.
call
So it's
Pappas in? Let's go ahead, Candace. Tell us what your take is.
well, my favorite part of this take is isn't these people the same people that said 5 years ago private businesses can do whatever they want? If you're not wearing a mask, they don't have to let you in. If you don't have a vaccination card, they don't have to let you in. And now
Yeah,
these same people are saying, oh, no, but not when it comes to us. Like,
yeah.
no.
They're
I'm
the most
sorry.
hypocritical. They're the most hypocritical group of
Yes.
people on the face of the earth. Yes.
And it drives me absolutely crazy because they went from, you got to bake me a cake, you got to do this. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to be like free market, private businesses can do whatever they want. And now they're back to like, oh no, we actually don't mean that. So
Yeah.
that's number one, where that obviously didn't age well for them. Number two is private businesses can do whatever they want. If
Yeah.
you are going to affect their bottom line, which every business's bottom line is what, ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen, making money. If
That's right.
you are going to take that as a way, if you're going to screw that up for them, they have every right to fire you. And Pennsylvania, you guys, I don't know about your states, but we have at will employment. They could
We're at
fire you
will.
for any fucking
I don't
reason.
think y'all are, Jason, but we're at will.
Yeah, they could fire you for any reason as long as it does not violate any of the
Protect the
civil
class.
rights laws,
Yeah.
Americans with disabilities, any of
Yep.
those laws, as long as they're not violating that, if they don't like you, they can fire you.
Yeah.
And we say it all the time because, we have an employment firm where, not all not all discriminations are illegal, not all
Yeah.
circumstances are illegal, and that's just the way it is. But in regards to this, people need to understand that a private business, they're looking at their bottom line, and I think they saw very quickly that these comments were affecting their customer base and their demand. Same thing with ABC. Sorry, Jimbo. Number one, your show sucks, and number
Oh,
two,
we're gonna get into him. I promise you that.
oh, yes, we certainly are. But at the same time, it's the same concept with every single business where if you're already struggling as a business and then
Mhm.
you have somebody that's going to tank you even further with their remarks, you're going to get rid of them. Now, the third part are the people that are in our school districts, in our healthcare. These are people that are supposed to be non bias. So, are you going to also tell me that if you were a teacher that lost their job over these posts, or if you were a healthcare worker that lost their job over these posts, were you or were you not treating children or families or people differently because of whether or not you figured they were a Trump voter or whether they were a Charlie Kirk fan? See, that's also the issue is they expose the fact that I don't know whether or not the same standard of care was being provided to each and every person and each and every child in a school district.
So I just posted a comment from a guy I worked with a long time. I called his name is Ramos, so I called him Ramus. Ramus, you know you heard me cuss. You don't have to cover for me. You know I said it a lot. But good to see you. Glad that you're here with us, my friend. So I went to the FBI National Academy. That's where I met Tom. That's where Tom and I became friends. And then through Tom, Jason and I became friends. So this, that academy 15, 16 years ago was such a great thing for my life. So in 2009, social media was very new. And
Oh,
at the academy, I took, I didn't have Facebook then. I got Facebook while I was at the academy so I could post pictures and communicate with my family because that's what it's really meant for.
right.
That's what it was
Do you
created.
do you even know what MySpace is?
So I do because my son was 12 years old, wanted a MySpace. So I had to research to make sure before I let him have one. But I never had one. Facebook was the first thing I. So I took employment law at the academy,
Mhm.
and the attorney, the instructor there, top notch guy, brilliant man, but he also had the ability to talk to dummies like me. And he gave it real simple. He said, "Yes, you as an American citizen has a right to free speech,
Mhm.
but your employer owns that speech." And I started thinking about it. Yeah, we own that speech. So we
Mhm.
didn't even have, Candace, in 2009, we didn't even have social media policies.
Yeah.
So when I come back from the academy, I said, hey, we got to get a social media policy because it's about to, we got young guys coming in. We have to do, and we did. And look, I have personally fired people for
Mhm.
things that they have said on Facebook. Uh, I do believe in free speech, but I think that Jason, just like with you as a fireman, we're on a different level when it comes to that. What I try to explain to people, yeah, you can have your opinion, but if you come across, how can you police any class of people when you come across with a bias? If you come across as racist, if you come across any way, how can you? People think that Jason, you're going to give them the service that you would somebody else. So those are the constant struggles that we had, but not looking at it from a law standpoint.
Mhm.
I'm proud of the stance that people have taken, employers have taken, and like we've said on the last couple of shows, we finally, as conservatives, found the hill that we're going to die on.
Mhm.
And we're like, it's a fucking enough. We have taken it on the chin from these fucking liberals, taking it and taking it, taking it, and just let them beat us fucking down. We don't protest. We don't fight back. Because why? Because we have better things to do. We have like jobs and bills and shit.
Mhm.
We have stuff to do. And we
Yeah,
can't
liberals
go
don't
be,
have any of that.
they don't have, I don't know what the fuck they do. Like I said on one of my shows or videos, like, being liberal, is that a job? What does
Yeah.
it pay? Because I don't think they work. That's all they do is, stir up trouble. But I am proud. I was so proud when Donald Trump got elected
Mhm.
for the second time to be a conservative and be an American. But even though my heart has been broke for 10 fucking days, man, 11 days, I've never been so proud to be a conservative and to be a fucking American, man.
Well, it's been a lot, and it's also been so amazing to have the left just expose themselves. Again, everybody's chanting free speech, but let's actually talk about the core of what free speech means. It means that the government cannot regulate your speech.
That's
And
right.
that's what people don't fucking understand. Hi, government is supposed to be separate from every aspect of your life, and it is
Yeah.
crazy that they think, oh, free speech means I am free to just say whatever I want in any type of setting I see fit because it's all about me and I can do whatever I want. And they don't understand that those things were created so that the government cannot oppress you.
Yeah.
However, your employer, other people in your life, they cannot tolerate your speech. The Constitution doesn't cover you with every other avenue of your life. It only
Absolutely.
protects you from government overrule and government oppression.
I'll tell you, and like I said, I'm not the brightest guy, so I like to keep things simple. The way I explained it to an employee one time was, he said, "I got First Amendment." I said, "Yes, you have First Amendment, but you
Mhm.
can't work here.
Yeah, you can
Say what you want, but you can't work here and say what you want."
you can
That's
do
just
Exactly.
whatever you want when you fucking leave.
And they
Yeah.
loved that. They loved that shit 5 years ago. They loved it. And
Oh
you
yeah.
know what's funny is like conservatives at the core of it, when they were saying all that, were like, well, they're not using it correctly, but all right, it is what it is. And
Yeah.
now it's like they're throwing little bitch fits when we are just using these things the way they were intended to be used. We're not
Well,
saying,
I've
oh,
got the perfect video to
oh,
lead into that.
oh, good. I'm
I've got
thrilled.
the perfect one to that's going to prove your point exactly.
Oh, this douche.
Your
And even his
friend.
face. Even his face. I'm just like,
Candace,
what
I
a
love
fucking
you.
loser.
Oh
Banned
my
from
God.
Twitter, Google, Apple, and Amazon removed the Parler app from their platforms. Parler is where all the right-wingers gather to post QAnon nonsense and misspell the word parlor. And no one was more upset about Parler going away than a sneaky little congressman named Devin.
But it's more than just the financial aspect of that. Republicans have no way to communicate. I have 3 million followers on Parler. Tonight, I will no longer be able to communicate with those people.
But don't worry, Mr. President, there are still plenty of apps you do have access to. You still have Spotify to drown out the sound of millions of people cheering as you leave. You still have Pet Finder since you're on the outs with Mike Pence. You can still play Among Us, a game where everyone accuses each other of being against them. You'd love it. You could play Pokemon Go. You and Donnie Jr. can hunt Pikachus together. And when no one else wants you, don't forget, there's always your old friend, the Domino's Pizza Tracker.
Like, I can't believe that I'm saying this right now. And I can't believe that I would acknowledge the fact that he was like so much better when he had girls with large boobs dancing on his trampolines. Like that is like, that's, yes,
Yeah.
that was who,
So many people forget that that's where he got his fucking start. And that's
right.
in our earlier podcast for one more. Yeah, I stood up and I saw a video of him just fucking humping
Yep. I saw
behind
that.
some girl. And it was like, all right, so that's where he started,
Right.
which I get. And it was fun. And everybody loved it. And it was a great show. And it was obviously successful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of a sudden, now you're going to be fucking righteous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
Fuck
can't
you. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah, for real.
you
I mean,
can't be a
I just,
hypocrite. And
I totally forgot about Parlor.
Adam
And
Carolla.
now I'm
Adam
mad all over
Carolla
again.
has done a fucking great job with his career of just taking, whether he's doing podcasts or whatever, like he didn't go that route and has made a very, very good living. Jimmy Kimmel got greedy and went that way and sucked the teat of fucking, all of these, the liberal assholes. And guess what? They fucked him.
Yep.
So you know what?
It's not the government that fucked him. It's the liberals that fucked him.
100%.
No, they did. No.
Nobody would back him.
Well, because enough conservatives, we finally found the hill we're going to die on. And enough conservatives called ABC and said, hey, it's enough. And ABC looked at the ratings and said, why are we putting up with this clown?
Yeah.
Why are we if he had
why is this partner doing so good?
You have power when you have a following. You pretty much tell people to suck it when some people are watching you, but you can't do those things. Now, if he had 3-4 million viewers a night, Candace,
maybe,
and he said what he said about Charlie, he wouldn't have got fired. He would not have gotten fired. But to me, the executives are looking at it like, hey, nobody even watches this clown. And now we're taking heat from our conservatives who give us money, who pay for advertising. So why? So no, dude, you're gone. So it really was an excuse, but he was
making $123,000 an episode. And now
he didn't have 123. He didn't have 123,000 listeners.
He didn't. What a wasteful amount of money for him.
And then
wasteful.
He went down to $88,000 an episode, and his contract was up in May. So I don't know if you guys follow, and James, you and I have talked about it a little bit, but the Drugger Bros podcast.
Yeah, a little bit, not as much as I want to.
But they were like, he literally, like he went down as the trying to be the Charlie Kirk of the left. Because he made the statements that he made, and then he doubled down on it, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're out."
But it's
not going to work out the same way.
Well, no. So first off, they're calling Charlie Kirk a racist, which he's not. He was not. Charlie Kirk was never caught saying the N-word. Jimmy Kimmel was. Charlie Kirk never dressed in blackface. Jimmy Kimmel did. So they forget about those. What was that show called? The Man Show, or
the Man Show. Yep.
First off, Jimmy Kimmel was
on trampolines.
Yeah. First off, Jimmy Kimmel was about as far from a man as anything.
He was a little prepubescent boy.
And I'm not the guy. And I'm not saying that people can't change, but you can't be a hypocrite either.
They do the chugging contests on that show.
Yeah.
Right.
So So as we grow older, we can, just like things we did when we were kids, we have a right to say, hey, look, the things we did, we're lucky to be alive and stuff. And when I would have to counsel some of these young deputies, I would say, hey, guys, look, y'all could start today and y'all couldn't catch up with the dumb shit that I did. But just because I made it out alive and I didn't get indicted and get killed doesn't mean you won't. And also didn't have body cameras. It just was a different day and age, And just a quick story. Several years ago, there was a federal grant, and they put me in charge of, it was an overtime deal to, it's called Party Patrol. We were busting underage drinking parties. And I was the spokesman for it. Well, my best friend from high school calls me. He said, dude, do you know how, to people that knew you in high school, how stupid you look? He said, we were the drunkest people in high school. He said, and this is what he said. He said, leave them kids alone. We turned out okay. And I said, my response was 2 words. Did we? Did we turn out okay?
Yeah.
I said, I have short-term memory loss. I have all kinds of other problems. Maybe it's because we drank so much when we were kids. But my point is, it's okay to change your stances as you get older, but the self-righteousness of the left, I always, I have different beliefs than I did when I was 20. Life experiences and just realized how stupid I was. But I never try to act like I'm better than anybody. And that's what the left's like. They're the most self-righteous group of people, Candace. It's unbelievable how a group of people can be that way.
Well, and my problem that I have is, okay, this is happening. You're outraged about it. But the fact that they won't even answer for all of the amount of people that are coming out and saying, what about Roseanne Barr? What about Tim Allen? What about this one? What about that
Yeah.
one? They're completely avoiding. Instead of saying, you know what, that was wrong too. They don't have an answer whatsoever. And they're just saying, nope, sorry, you can't do this to Jimmy Kimmel. And that's where they keep losing people, is they're not going back and saying, okay, we fucked up here. We're going to acknowledge right now that maybe we shouldn't have done that, or we should have
Yeah.
behaved differently. Nope, they're literally saying there needs to be a different set of standards for the leftist lunatic radicals and conservatives. And they're saying it very plainly and simply and clearly. And we need to listen to them because they're moving forward with that ideology.
Yeah.
It's
Jason, let me interrupt real quick. Are you and Cincy having some kind of bromance on the chat right now?
Oh God.
yes. It got real heated earlier. So
I got you. Cincy, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining our chats. Candace, this is Jason's resident liberal on his show.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He's your
It's my-
Jessica Tarlow?
And he's not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy.
it's my problem child, but
Does he have
you be
thick-
nice to Candace. You be nice to Candace. You just
Yeah.
Does
I
he
think
have
you
the
just-
liberal glasses though?
I
Because
think you
that's
just
like
took a shot at me, though.
Mr. Clean. Oh crap! I kind of see that, James. Yikes!
That's a compliment. Mr. Clean was a man's
Oh.
man. I take that as a compliment. So let's see. Let me pull up another video. We're gonna go with the biggest douchebag of the week. I know y'all have probably seen it.
Oh, since if I want, oh, sorry.
No.
Yeah.
So
Bromance is over.
No. who is the biggest douchebag of the week?
God, there's
The-
so many.
the-
I don't even
The
know.
most
Ilhan Omar?
irrelevant man. The most irrelevant man. I don't know what rock they went and found him under, but Montel Williams needs to go back under that rock.
Oh yes.
Oh my! Candace, did you see this?
I did.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine how you would feel if you knew that you fucked Kamala Harris?
Oh, well, it's funny.
Oh, I
'cause-
forgot about that.
Yes, my husband did too, and he goes, "That's not real." I said, "Yes, it is."
Oh
And-
yeah.
No, it was a big deal. They dated. He actually didn't. He did. Jason, he didn't just tap.
He
He
was knocking
dated
the
the.
bottom out of that.
He didn't just tap. He dated that goofy bitch. Let's look at this goofy motherfucker.
Oh, I can't. See, I almost felt bad for him when he was on Hannity.
This is probably his first real relationship,
Oh.
and somebody was disparaging the person that he loved. He sat on that building for 30 minutes before he took the shot. Why did he wait until the first word trans came up? Then he took the shot.
You think he heard it? He could hear it.
I think he could hear it. I think he also, I don't believe he was motivated politically. I think this was motivated emotionally.
Guys,
That's my man right here, though.
the evidence here is overwhelming. He said, Charlie Kirk, I can't stand this hate anymore. I'm going to take him out. The testimony from him and the statements of his family, he had become more left wing. He etched the statements that are made by the left about Republicans and conservatives and Charlie Kirk fascist on the bullet casings.
He made a joke about it in his last text.
Well, it doesn't sound like a joke to me because someone's dead and about to be buried.
Well,
So it doesn't
Those are
sound
two
like a
different
joke to me.
Those are
I
two
mean-
different things.
So I'm just telling you, there is an effort. There was an effort all weekend long on the left to try to make this guy sound like he was a conservative. That failed. That was passed around all over the weekend. That has now failed. The evidence has now come out. He was motivated by hate. He was motivated by left-wing radicalism. He got mixed up with some trans ideology in his life. We'll learn more about that, I'm sure, when more evidence and testimony comes out.
Furries.
We are looking around the edges of this for something other than what's staring us in the face. Left-wing radicalism got this kid. He went up to a roof and he murdered our friend.
Thank you. Why are
And
we
the fact-
making this something it's not?
And the fact that that's CNN is even more
Right?
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
Because I get accused by Cincy and other people,
Mhm.
everything you pull up is Fox News. That's what I look at.
Mhm.
But I try to fact check. So I'll go to AP, I'll go to Politico, I'll go to CNN, and we'll see where all these stories align. The fact that you pulled that up, James, is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
That was CNN and Montel Williams. I forgot that he was knocking the bottom out of Kamala before Kamala was Kamala. And I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to justify, oh, this guy's just misunderstood.
Hold on a second.
Fuck
Let's
you.
go back to
Fuck you.
Love Torn Child.
Blech.
Love Torn Child. That's what
Yeah,
that was.
I can't get past that.
Emotionally.
Not that I had any kind of respect for Montel. I'm indifferent towards, I
Mhm.
was indifferent towards him. Now I think he's a fucking douchebag. But I just don't get, it would be real easy to say this was something that we really could have united as a country about.
Mhm.
Because look, God forbid, next week it could be a liberal like Charlie Kirk. It could be them. And I don't want that to happen. None of us want that to happen. So this could have been really something we could have all united around. And now one thing I am happy to see is that conservatives, because you can't unite. I saw one liberal say, we just need to unite. Well, unite around what? You can't unite. If you're going to unite, you have to have something you're uniting around. You have to have a cause. We're so far apart on this. What are we going to unite around? You celebrating a man's death? That's not. Now, what the uniting what needs to happen, and what I feel like is happening because of this, is Republicans are uniting with each other. Conservatives are uniting because they're, one thing, and I think it's a healthy thing. Unlike liberals, we call each other out. Conservatives just don't stick together just because we're conservatives. And that's what liberals, anything that, Camel Toe would do or Biden would do, they would just justify. But conservatives don't do that. Charlie, one of the last conversations he had with President Trump was in the Oval Office when he was coming down on the Iran, going to war with Iran. Charlie went to the Oval Office and, fought with President Trump about that. That's what real leaders do. And what I like, what Charlie was a person who brought people together. He brought a lot of people together. And look who was at the memorial, Jason, today, sitting next to each other. Who? Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
So, that's how you have to look at this death right now, is Charlie is still doing the work that Charlie did in his death.
Liberals are lost. They are
Well,
lost.
they have no leader. They have absolutely no leader. If their leader is Gavin,
no policies.
You got Newscomb.
They have nothing, and they're trying so desperately to say no, we're the good guys, and it's like, guys, we set the bar so low for you. Number one, don't kill us, okay? But if you're gonna kill us, don't talk shit about us when we're dead. Like, that was the bar. We couldn't have lowered it.
No, if you kill us, own it. If you're gonna, when the mafia, one thing you got to respect about the mafia, or even the Taliban, when they put a hit on somebody, they get up there and they fucking own it and say, yeah, we fucking did it.
Right.
The liberals, they fucking did it. They're not, oh no, it was their own guy that did it. That doesn't make any sense to any sane person. It makes absolutely no sense. It's nothing. But it comes down to, everything's about leadership. We have strong man. We are the depth chart in Republican leadership right now. Jason and I were talking, Candace, before you came on. Man, look at you got Marco Rubio. I think JD Vance is probably the guy.
Yep.
JD Vance is going to be president. Rubio's going to be his VP.
I think he's going to be vice president. But look, what does the liberals have? They got Newscomb, Booty Plug, and Swallowwell. I mean, look at what they got.
They've got nothing.
That's what I'm saying. The three butt fucks that they have, look at them.
and they have zero policies. And so all
No,
they
they have
keep
no.
running
They
on
no.
anti-Trump, anti-Trump, anti-conservative. That's all they keep running on. And it's not doing anything for them. I don't know who, like, do they not have people that love them at all in their lives that will go to them and be like, maybe you should try something else? It's like
This isn't working.
they just keep fucking going, and it's embarrassing. And like I said, we lowered the bar
Mhm.
like through the floor. It was under the ground. Just don't talk shit about the guy you murdered. That's it. And they couldn't even like stay at the bar or right above it. It to me, it just how anybody, I have to say this. If you are seriously going to walk into a voting booth and cast a vote for a Democrat after all you've seen for 8+ months, you are a fucking moron. And
I
there's
don't even want to
nothing
talk to
else
you. I
that
have nothing
anybody
to
can
talk
do
to you
for you.
about. Yeah.
There's
That's
nothing anybody can do
yeah.
for you. You're beyond help. You're a moron.
You know, they get on my nerves, and sometimes like, man, I just wish they'd shut up. But not, I really just want them to keep talking, because the best thing they do for the Republican Party is keep talking.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like a year ago or a little over a year ago, I was concerned about if Camel Toe would have picked Newscomb as the vice president. I was concerned about that because he's a good looking guy. He speaks well. He doesn't scare me anymore. That guy's a
none of them
complete
do.
buffoon. I thought he was, you know, he's a charismatic guy. The stuff that comes out of his mouth, I just want him to keep talking. I want him to get as much airtime as possible, and I want him to keep talking. And if he is the nominee, J.D. Vance is going to spank his TT.
Oh yeah. He'll wipe the floor with any of them.
He's gonna do it more than Walls. He's gonna make him look dumber than Walls.
I love the fact that I hear all kinds of bullshit when JD Vance, literally, for McGee's viewers, or one more guys know this, but JD Vance lives literally 15 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. So whenever he's in town, everybody loses their fucking shit because they shut the roads down, this and that. And I'm like, we have a sitting vice president that wants to come home. He has a house in DC. I get it. Gracie Mansion, whatever the fuck it's called. But I'm like, he wants to come home and hang out. Why are you so fucking mad? Why are you
too
so
stupid
mad?
to see the benefits in having that? You know, y'all may not see it, but you know the stuff y'all were getting that y'all wouldn't normally get. You know, the I don't know if y'all, Jason, you may know this, but Candace, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is my congressman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know how good that is for us.
Yeah.
know?
I fucking love that guy.
Oh, Mike is a good guy. I was a Scalise guy. I still am a Scalise guy. I love Scalise. But man, I think Mike Johnson's done a hell of a job.
But the stupid shit, like just the dumb fucking shit that I hear locally.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
my
exhausting.
God. It's taking me. I have to go all the way around because they shut these roads. Yeah, he's the fucking vice president of the United States, you dumb motherfuckers. Deal with it. Just deal with it. Like we have representation more so than, and not that Vance can fucking do anything and like change anything, obviously, but that's a fucking accolade. I don't care where you are. That's an accolade. Ohio has had a ton of presidents come out of it, ton of vice presidents come out of it, and we're sitting here, and these people are bitching because it's taking them longer to get home from work.
So I agree. I agree with
bag of dicks.
I agree with Chuck in our comments. JD is going to whip whoever they put up.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He will. He knows he knows the art of debate. He knows how to do it respectfully. He knows how to get the emotional aspect across. It's a done deal, in my opinion, unless, you know, they like to cheat again. So that's why you'll hear more and more bitching and moaning about, oh my God, mail-in voting's going to go away. How am I going to submit 15 of the same votes from the same person? Yeah. Oh no.
How am I to vote for how am I to submit a vote for my great grandpa?
Yeah.
I want to answer Cindy's question. that
I
you
think
just,
we're going to say the same thing, but go ahead.
Uh-oh.
but if Vance doesn't run, I think Rubio's got to be
Yeah.
the guy.
It's to me, it's Vance Rubio ticket. And if Vance, I mean, why wouldn't he run? But if he doesn't run, Marco's the guy. Marco.
And then you put DeSantis as his VP.
Yes.
Yeah, I
See,
like that
DeSantis
too.
has to be in there somewhere. He's
I'm
got to
gonna
be
tell
in there
y'all,
somewhere.
I really think that Charlie Kirk was going to be the VP. I really
Mm.
think that.
I don't think he was going to run, but
No, but I think he'd have been the VP. I think JD would have put him as VP.
I think they would have asked, but I think somebody very grounded in their faith. It's funny, like my husband, when we had just gotten married, he went to a local Tea Party meeting and he only did one. And it was kind of a whole thing like, yes, we have the opportunity to make changes and be prominent and do all that stuff. But man, it is the work of the devil. And anybody grounded in their faith knows that, and they don't want to be in that world. So
No,
I
you're
don't
right.
think
No,
it was for him.
I was in, man, and look, I was a small level and
Yeah.
I'm out of it now. I'm commentating now, but I was deep into politics and regional and local. And it's, yeah,
I would
I'm
never
gonna
do
say
it.
I benefited a lot and was pretty, I achieved some success,
Mm.
but it'd like to kill me too.
Yeah.
It really did. So let's talk about your state. So
real quick, I have a funny story because
Better be funny. I'm kidding. I need to laugh.
it was, I mean, it had potential to be funny, but so we tell everybody on our podcast, and I tell all my young firemen that work with me, you have to look at the school board first. School board is where politics start.
Mhm.
And then when you get in school board, then that's when you kind of springboard up into whether it's a city councilman or a trustee, depending on how you're set up, and then you move up. So Jill and I were sitting here talking, and Jill's got a 13-year-old daughter, and I said, you know what? I'm going to run for school board. And she was like, you sure you want to do that? There's a lot of skeletons in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, you know what? I'll run for school board too. I said, oh, shit. So we were going to run. Made the joke about running against each other, living in the same house to see. I was like, I'm just curious just to see who would win.
Yeah.
Just,
That's
I
so
mean,
funny.
obviously we both have the same values
yeah.
and want to put it out to the, make
Well, at least whoever won, it was going to be a decent person in office, which is very rare these days.
Yep.
So I'm like, holy shit. I said, we're already a house divided because I don't vote for fucking school levies.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because where I live, they have kind of fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm not doing it. Jill does because her kids, Zoe's in school, so she votes for it. I'm like, well, we're a house divided. I said, oh, how awesome is this going to be? I said, what kind of smear campaign are you going to fucking throw?
That's what I was thinking.
It was rumored. Everybody thought I was going to run for sheriff because I was the guy that the former sheriff that I worked for. I was on TV a lot, so they thought, I was getting exposure, and they thought I was going to be the next sheriff.
Fuck, I thought you had a face for radio.
Well, I did have a face for radio. I was on radio too. I was better on radio. But
I think you'd make a badass sheriff, honestly.
Well, I didn't want, that's not what I want. I'm more of a behind the scenes number two. I was a chief of staff. So that's what I felt like I was good. I was good at that. What I've told people is, and I ran campaigns. I am a campaign strategist and I'm pretty good at it. Mm-hmm. But as far as, my statement was, I think I'd be a really good sheriff, but I think I'd be a horrible political candidate. Yeah. I could see me fist fighting at a fucking debate. I just don't think that that's where I want to be. But just because, and I never was going to run, but just because I was rumored to run and people thought I was running, they came after me like you wouldn't fucking believe. Just because they thought I was a threat. Mm-hmm. So saying the reason why I say that is, you know how many people are like me, and just what what you were saying about your husband, that don't get involved because they. How many good people are we losing?
Yep.
How many good
Mhm.
potential? Look what Donald Trump has went through. Who the fuck would put besides him would put up that for no money? To take a
Right.
cut and pay. So that's what we have to look at. Is good people don't want to be in public office anymore. You're not getting good people anymore because of that.
No, I mean, he wouldn't
And we have a
even.
great sheriff. My friend, I ran his campaign. He's a great sheriff, but there's he went through it. He went through and still going through it. It's just it's nonstop, and that's why good people don't want to run for office.
It's a lot. It's a lot of like backlash. I mean, even just some of our like higher profile cases that we've had that have gone through the press. For instance, we represented an autistic boy that was thrown out of the Disney store for not wearing a mask. And there were articles, my husband was circulated all over, and just the comments, and even just something as little as that was like, oh, this sucks. Like, it's so daunting, and people are so wrong and they're so stupid. I can't imagine it on a higher up political level, especially now.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about
I told Joe, I was like, dude, our school board is so everybody's school board, but for us personally, our school board's so fucked. And
we got people that can't. People on school board regulating education that couldn't write a letter to their mom.
Exactly.
Correct.
That's why our kids go to private school, and we're like, fuck it. You know what? We're not even going to mess around with public school. And it was a decision we made when we had no money. We were going to make this happen no matter what, because public education right now, it's a sewer.
Yeah.
So I had to go to a school board meeting. We had a grant from the school board when I was the chief of staff for the DA, and the superintendent. I was there for 3 fucking hours. We were last on the agenda, and the superintendent was a really good friend of mine. And I saw what went through this meeting, and he had just became superintendent. And I called him after the meeting. I said, "Dude, did you get that job? Did you do something wrong and they made you take that job? Did you get that job as a punishment? You have to deal with these mamalukes every fucking month."
I
so
love her.
he's no longer the superintendent. He's a great guy. He moved on to something else. But dealing with that's the kind of people who are running for office now, because good people don't want to deal with and Jason, you talk about skeletons. I got, some people got skeletons. I got fucking graveyards, but it's just, but I'm there's no way I'd ever run for office because
I have thick skin, and I'm not opposed to it. I want to make sure that when I do it, I'm retired out of the fire department.
And you can say, yes, exactly. I see you have nothing to lose.
That way I can tell you literally, fuck off.
Yeah.
Now, Joel's a tender heart, and she has great intentions. But I'm like, just know you're going to deal with a bunch of shit. If you want to do it, I'll support you all the way through, and I will be your biggest advocate. But just know you're attached to me, right, wrong, or indifferent. And not that I've fucking murders and shit or rapes or any of that bullshit. Nothing like that. It's just, how it is. Like, I don't know if you guys have, 'cause obviously we're all on social media, but like we have Watchful Eyes Anderson and
oh yeah,
all these and these motherfuckers, and that's Pappas's fucking playground. That's where Pappas fucking lives, because he'll grab that shit.
Yeah.
But these people, I mean, they're just, the left will fucking grab whatever they can. And I said, Joe, I'll support you. If you want to do it, let's do it. I'll run with you.
And they go back decades, as we know, decades.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. I said, I will run through fucking hellfire with you. but you got to make sure you want to do it.
Yeah.
You have to be committed to doing it.
Well, what I say is, I put it real simple. I wasn't always the man I am today. That's how I say it.
That's perfect. It's
Yep.
perfect.
I just leave it at that. But
I've been a fireman for a long time, and there's been a lot of dumb shit.
Oh God, yeah. So I retired from political strategy 2 years ago. Did my last campaign, but I will come out of retirement for you or Jill. Guarantee you that. That's one thing I was pretty good at.
You're my man.
So, anything in closing tonight, Candace?
Well, I think we've had a really tough, 11 days, would we
Yeah.
say? Would we say it's been like fucking hell? Really,
Yeah.
it's been hell. It's been like a roller coaster ride. I feel like today was a good way of just, you know what? We're closing this chapter. We need to go up from here in all avenues. I just hope people do things with Charlie in mind and they actually think about this when they're considering things like midterms, when they're considering anybody running for political office.
Mhm.
Honestly, after everything that we've seen in the last 10 days, I'll say it again. Anybody who votes for a Democrat is a fucking moron. I don't know how you could just go along with that party right now after everything you have seen, the complete lack of unity. There was not one leading Democrat in that audience today. And that should tell you everything that you need to know about the entire political climate that we're dealing with. You're telling me not one of them could have made the attempt to say, you know what? I'm going to come to this memorial, pay my respects, maybe didn't agree with him, but you know what? I should do the right thing. Nobody's even looking at it even as a way to advance their own selves. And it's just that should tell you everything you need to know. Full stop. I don't know how anybody could be a Democrat right now.
I
It's
agree.
embarrassing.
Jason, what do you want to close with?
I appreciate you having me on as per usual. I love you. Candace, your insights are phenomenal.
Thank you, Fred.
She's such a great addition. She really is.
I
told her she needs to start her own podcast, but kind of shooting myself in the foot because I love her being here. But she could definitely be podcast gold.
I definitely want you as a guest on one more. But
yes, I will be there.
In closing, I mean, I think, Candace is absolutely right. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing as a society? I don't care whether you're left, you're right, middle. I don't care. This guy lost his fucking life debating, just talking. All he was doing was talking. And I have multiple videos saved where somebody proved him wrong. And it wasn't often, but they proved him wrong. And he was like, you know what? I didn't think about it that way. You know what? Hey, go around the side of the tent. I want to get your information. And he was gracious. He was gracious. And there's no reason that 31-year-old man, young man, deserved to lose his life. And here we are today doing that. You know, they did the fucking memorial, and it's just so frustrating.
It is.
Because
terrible.
There's no reason for it. We can all talk. We can all talk. Cincy 513, who's in the fucking chats, he was in my chats. There's no reason. I mean, I've talked with him, and he's not one of the completely out there.
No, he's reasonable at times.
Yeah. So I'm not putting him out there, but I'm just saying, like, it just sucks when you can't talk to people, and all of a sudden somebody wants to raise a rifle and kill somebody. I think it's just stupid.
So I want to close with kind of piggyback off of Candace too. Candace is right. Anybody that votes Democrat after what we have seen, I used to always say, I'm tolerable, and I still am. I'm not going to hate you or come at you just because your stance. If I tell you that I don't want to fuck with you,
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I don't really want to talk to you because you can't unite with them. You can't talk to them, Jason. I don't want to talk to them. But what I want to see is what, like I had said a few minutes ago, I want to see us as Republicans unite together like we have never united. All these never Trumpers and those kind of people and the Mike Pence's and even though I think they're irrelevant and John Bolton, it's time for Republicans to say, hold on a fucking second.
Yeah.
Look at the alternative and leave them, put the Liberal Party on an island where they belong.
Mm-hmm.
That and we unite together, we will absolutely be unstoppable. That's where I'm at. So I appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Of course, you too. I appreciate y'all being here. It's always fun with y'all. Until next time, McGee, Kiefer, and Candace are